WrestleMania Night 2 review and tier listing. And we are starting off strong with this one, ladies and gentlemen. Io Sky defeated Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley to retain her title. This match, I was afraid they're going to give Bianca or Rhea a win and they're going to end up pinning Io Sky. And that is the last thing I wanted. I did not want Rhea Ripley to win this match at all. Bianca, fine, but not really. Because if it was just Bianca versus Rhea, I could have gone either way. It would have mattered. It would have been a great match. But then they put Io Sky in and put the title on her. And I was afraid she's going to be a transition champion for some reason. So she could be pinned, keeping Bianca or Rhea, who doesn't get involved in the pinfall, strong. But they didn't do that. Bianca now has the record of apparently getting pinned at WrestleMania over and over. I don't know, I think the announcer said it's a 6-0 of Bianca getting pinned or something like that. Rhea was not involved in the decision, although she got hit with the moonsault, and that was fine. Bianca got pinned again. I'm not upset about it. I'm actually rather happy. Io Sky retained. This is an S tier match. Starting off strong, S tier. Another thing I've noticed, that the three people who have a moonsault as a finisher all won their matches. Tiffy Time hit the Tiffy Time. That was crap because she won, but won the match with a moonsault. A better version of Tiffy Time was done by, Jacob Fatu. And he also won, and he won a title out of it. And then Io retained her title with a moonsault. Fantastic. S tier. Then we had Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest, and that was a street fight. And I honestly thought that this card would go it's going to end up in 2 hours, you're going to be done, because this was a fast-paced match. Damian Priest had a chair around his neck. He didn't sit down on his floppy ass to do that stupid South of Heaven chokeslam. He just straight up countered Drew with one hand and hit him with the chokeslam, and that was one of the highlights. He should just do a normal chokeslam. He's a big guy. He pretends to be the Undertaker. Just do a normal chokeslam, man. Don't sit down. It looks way more impressive. He went through a couple of tables. They hit him on the ring steps came out. Nice violence. Nice use of chair. And Drew McIntyre shoved his head in the chair. That Drew McIntyre then kicked him with a claymore through that chair. A chair that was, by the way, placed there by Damian Priest. Came to bite him in the ass. Wasn't just a normal claymore. The first claymore he hit him was kind of on his shoulder. But to end the match, hit him with a claymore, was wedged in the turnbuckles. A tier. Dominic Mysterio defeated Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, and Penta. I said in my previous video that I really didn't want Penta to win, and thankfully he didn't. I also said that Dominic should do something like wait for Finn to hit the coup de grace, and then maybe throw Finn out and pin Penta or pin Finn himself. Braun should not be involved in the decision. And that's exactly what they did. Dominic Mysterio hit Finn Balor with the frog splash and then pinned Finn Balor. This leads to the breakup of the Judgment Day, and Dominic Mysterio is now the Intercontinental Champion. This was a high A tier. I like Dominic Mysterio, so a lot of people hate him. I really like it. This may be a low S tier, if that's even a thing, put it in the border. Or just a high A tier match. An A tier match. Joe Hendry showed up, man. I don't know who Joe Hendry is, other than his name. People use those cards in the audience, and they say Joe Henry, Joe Henry. He showed up at the Royal Rumble. But since Randy Orton was there, I was like, maybe the TNA World Heavyweight Champion can show up. If he's still the guy, or whoever is the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. And he did. And then he hit one move, a fall away slam. He has this gimmick taunt where he just turns to the camera. He did it a couple of times. And then he did in the match. And it's like, you're going to get hit with an RKO out of nowhere. You're not even paying attention to Randy Orton. And that is exactly what happened. And then Randy picked him up. People wanted to hit him with an RKO again. While Randy raised his hand, the guy looked like he was about to cry. Well, he probably was, because he was guy from TNA getting to be at WrestleMania and be Randy Orton's opponent on his 20th match. Maybe a big deal for him, right? He seemed like he was about to cry. He got hit with an RKO. Randy didn't really hurt him unnecessarily by hitting him with a third RKO, but Joe Henry showed up and he did not show out. Maybe getting squashed by Randy makes sense. They had a time limit to it because it was a very short match, like a gimmicky match. But if they really wanted to have someone from TNA showed up because they've acquired TNA earlier already, and then they acquired AAA a few days ago, they could have let Joe Henry show up and at least have a couple of his submissions or signatures or finishers or whatever moves he has, unless his finisher is the follow-away slam. We saw nothing from him. That should have been a slightly longer match. It's a B tier match. Next we had Logan Paul, who defeated AJ Styles. AJ should have won, but Logan Paul apparently now has an undefeated streak or something. Well, no, he got defeated by Roman Reigns, but he's only been in matches with like the highest tier of wrestlers. And again, it wasn't really that AJ Styles lost. It was Karrion Kross showed up and AJ attacked him, which led to Logan getting the victory. But the match was fantastic. It was good. I put it in A tier. Low A tier. But still A tier. And then we have another disappointment. The penultimate matches before the main event were women's matches. And again, both of them are F tier for me. Complete failures. We don't know why. The reason Bayley pulled out, it was just probably some gimmick. Bayley's just sitting on her ass thinking, well, that sucks. Becky Lynch showed up. Apparently they're Irish or something, and that's a big deal for them. So Becky Lynch showed up. After having done nothing with her life, probably taking care of a kid, which is great, but she showed up at WrestleMania, undeserved, gets a title shot, and defeats Liv Morgan after the year Liv has had. That was absolutely disappointing and absolutely disgusting. It's not Liv, it's not Raquel, it's boring ass Lyra Valkyria, who's just dull, and Becky Lynch, who peaked when she was Becky Two Belts. Now she's Boner Killer Becky. Showed up and took the titles of Liv Morgan and Raquel. This is a fucking F. And now, for some reason, the undeserving, boring Lyra is a double champion. She couldn't even bother to defend her own title. She now gets to be a double champion. Complete bullshit. If there was something that was below an F, this is it. This was complete crap. This almost turned me off WrestleMania. Like, this was the worst moment. I was just absolutely disappointed. And then we come to what should have been a default S tier for me. John Cena defeating Cody Rhodes to be the undisputed WWE champion. It was not an S tier match. The match itself was fine. Should have been a lot better. Cody hit a couple of Cody cutters, hit a disaster kick. John Cena did the fine knuckle shuffle, hit him with a few attitude adjustments. They called it the STFU now. He had that locked in. But they couldn't give him the proper win. And then, well, The Rock's lazy fat ass chose not to show up. A lot of people were like, well, that's going to be a subversion. He's going to show up. He didn't. And if that's the case, someone could have showed up from the bloodline to help John Cena. Or it could have been just a clean victory over Cody Rhodes. But no. Who showed up? Travis Scott. I don't listen to that kind of music or any of such stuff. I have no idea who this guy was. Some scrawny ass little guy compared to The Rock, who's a huge guy, standing in the ring. And I was like, who is that guy? And the announcers, the commentators were like, he's a country singer or something. He showed up again. And then he blew Cody's ear out. Well, his receipt was coming. We thought we'd get to see that. We didn't get to see that either. Cody towed the corporate line and hit one of the most insipid crossroads ever. I mean, to make this match an S tier, all Cody had to do was just smash his wrist into the singer's face. Just have him lay in his pool of his own blood, just coughing off. He needed to be carted off in a stretcher and taken to a local medical facility. He needed to get that receipt. We did not get that. His existence ruined the match. And then John Cena low-blowed Cody Rhodes, hit him in the face with the title. The referee was out of the ring. He dragged himself into the ring and then pinned Cody Rhodes. He did not even... John Cena should have just picked Cody Rhodes up and then hit him with one more attitude adjustment to close the match out. No. Cody just got hit in the face with a belt and then just laid there for like a 10 count. What makes this worse is that attack should have at least made Cody bleed. He should have had a bloody face where he was knocked out and it looked like he got hurt. Cody didn't get hurt. Cody was just walking back dejectedly. And then it gets worse because this is a part of the match. This is how the show closed out. Instead of having Travis Scott carted off on a stretcher because Cody got his receipt, which would have been worthwhile, and then John Cena standing alone with the WWE Championship over his head under the Titantrons. No. WrestleMania 41 ended with John Cena and Travis Scott standing at the top with their titles raised. That fake, dumbass, hardcore title that Travis Scott has. He was standing next to John Cena. They're raising that title. That was just complete bullshit. That is one of the reasons that by default, what should have been an S match is a C tier match. Because Travis Scott's existence ruined this match. And that's why this is just a C tier match. And that is how WrestleMania 41 closed out with disappointment.